Hi everyone, welcome to Morningstar Reborn Nursery. Today I thought I'd share with you my most treasured and expensive sculpt, which is a silicone doll by Clair Taylor. And if you've been in the reborn and silicone doll collectors world for a while, you know Clair Taylor is one of the most well-respected and realistic silicone doll artists. With most silicone sculpts, she only makes, a few, I'm not sure exactly how many, maybe 20 or something before the sculpt breaks, or 100, I'm really not sure, but it's really not that many. And she's also famous for her marshmallow soft, which is very realistic silicone doll uh, bodies and sculpts and so forth. So this is a beautiful kit called Sage that I've had for about 2 years, and I'm never going to sell her. So she's really super soft. She does feel like a real baby, except that obviously she doesn't move around and she's cold. But on warm days, she can kind of warm up to room temperature. She's biracial, and you can see she really has beautiful details. Like she has a little tongue. If you look inside, you can see the tongue and the nose and the ears. Just the ears are so detailed. And you can move her face. She can have a bottle. You can see her hands are very realistic. Her other hand has a thumb out, which can sometimes be a little challenging when you're changing a reborn doll. You have to be much more careful. Silicone dolls are much more expensive than reborn dolls. A good silicone doll will average between $2,500 to $5,500 US. There are options available that are maybe smaller, but you have to really do the work and avoid at all costs anything made in China. I mean, the whole beauty of these collectors' dolls is that they're handmade. They're not mass produced, which is why they're so expensive. I can't show you her little girl parts, but I can show you. Here's her little butt. And these these cloth diapers are just a better option, environmentally speaking, than paper pulp diapers, whatever you call them. You can see her head is very large. Yeah. So with silicone dolls, you have to keep them out of direct sunlight, wrap them, if you're putting them, don't leave them in a place with animal hair or dust. Leave them, if you're putting them away for a while, wrap them in a cotton cloth and put them in a cardboard box, not a plastic box, because I've heard they sweat. I don't know if that's true. And here you can see her little cutie nudie. And she is extremely realistic. You can also see her feet are very detailed. She's a beautiful girl. So just every now and then, not very often, a doll will need to be, you get some silicone powder, not normal baby powder, because that will destroy the, I probably put a bit too much on there. But they get a little sticky, so you just have to kind of put a little bit of powder on them, or they get a little bit shiny. But that's very rare that you have to do that. I'm just, doing it because I haven't done it in a while. I would love to get her rooted, but and by rooted I mean hair put on her head. But to be honest, she was so expensive. you know, I don't have another doll like this. I never will. And I'm a little afraid to put her in the mail to go to an artist. So that's probably not going to happen. So she's just got a fantastic array of hats. Yeah, it's funny when you get your first reborn doll and you pay maybe, you know, $400 or $500, $300, or maybe you get one secondhand for cheaper, and you think, oh my goodness, how could I ever pay this much for a doll? But then as time goes on, you start to understand how much work goes into making the doll. Poor baby. I'll put your head like that. Yeah, you start to understand how much goes into making a doll like this, and you know, you kind of, the amount you're willing to spend on them, because also if you want quality, the amount you spend on them increases because you appreciate the artistry. You know, if you're someone for whom these dolls are just way too expensive, you know, it's a doll fan, the website, or reborns.com with an S, not reborn.com, but reborns.com is a good place for affordable reborn dolls. But Doll Fan is a website in America, I believe, that has secondhand, sometimes very good quality silicone secondhand dolls. I wouldn't use Facebook, to be honest. And if you do use it, don't say friends and family, say business. eBay can sometimes be a good place, but just make sure the doll isn't. Etsy is not a bad place to get a custom reborn or silicone doll, but make sure it's not made in China, you know. And if the price is too good to be true, like, it's probably, there's these Chinese companies that set up a really good website, and they've stolen the photos of reborn artists, and it looks like this beautiful doll for $100. You know, it's too good to be true. And so many people get burned and disappointed, and so many artists you know, get people stealing their sculpts because of what these Chinese companies are doing. And you know, we want the reborn hobby to be sustainable, so we want to avoid those Chinese companies. So this is Sage, and people said, you know, how flexible is she? So you get the idea. You can see her arm moving. I'm a little afraid to let her head do that. There you go. Her head is very heavy. I think she's probably about 5 or 6 kg. She's pretty heavy, and maybe the size of a 3-month-old baby. Yes, you're so cute. So, to be honest, if you're new in this hobby, I would just encourage you to get a reborn doll to begin with, and just work your way up. You know, go join some reborn doll collection groups on Facebook and watch some channels, and you start to understand, you know, who are the good artists, and what is the price range, and then you can kind of work your way up. I mean, if you want to start a starter doll, you're looking at a few thousand, you know, for silicone. So, and for a reborn doll, you can get one, you know, for 250 Australian dollars, maybe 200 US secondhand on eBay. You just have to, you know, carefully examine the country of origin, the seller, and the photos to make sure you're getting something good. I have friends in India who they can't afford a reborn doll on their own, but maybe they've lost a baby or something. So I wanted to, you know, offer them some joy in the hobby. So I just bought a few secondhand reborn dolls and sent them to India, and they were absolutely ecstatic. You know, you just get the secondhand doll, wipe it with a few nappy wipes, and put it in some nice clothes, and it's as good as new. And it really makes a difference to those women who really they love babies in India. And you know, all kinds of people collect reborn dolls or silicone dolls. Some people do it because they can't have real children. Some people already have children and just miss holding a baby in their arms. Other people role play as if the doll is a real baby, even though they know it's a doll. And other people just really appreciate the art and don't, they may not pick up their dolls every day. Um, Personally, I'm someone who actually, it's a controversial thing for a woman to say this, but I don't want a baby of my own full time. I'm really happy for people who do want babies, but I find, a real child is a lot of work, and only something you should undertake if you're ready for that. So I have fostered several children, and I've also got a lot of adopted animals I've saved. And I also do a lot of social work in the community, so I don't feel that my life is in any way empty without children. But I do really enjoy this hobby, and I do find babies extremely beautiful. And the artistry of these dolls is just amazing. So I find it really fun, and I do love going to secondhand shops for baby clothes. Is one of my favorite things. I think a lot of reborn doll collectors absolutely enjoy the thrill of, a hunt for some nice baby clothes, and just find everything to do with babies really cute. So she's such a cutie patootie, as we say. And I'm a big fan of multiple layers. Like, obviously, if it was a real baby, I wouldn't do this, but because she's a silicone doll, I can completely go to town with the baby couture. So what, a lot of reborn doll and silicone doll collectors, they have what they call a nursery, which may be a corner of their home where they put their dolls, like maybe a cot. In my case, I have a corner of my room, which is a cot, which is where I keep many dolls. Some people have like a Moses basket or a bassinet. What do you have in your nursery? Do you have a whole spare room where you keep your dolls on a spare bed, or do you have a corner room? Do you have a cupboard? Some people keep it in a closet because they're a little afraid to. Some people, feel a little ashamed of this slightly eccentric hobby, so they keep their babies in a closet and open the door when nobody's around. Where do you keep your dolls? And what do you have? Do you have a pram or a baby stroller? Do you have a cot? I don't have. Do you have a high chair? I have a high chair, an antique high chair that I got, and a So she's looking so nice now. I have a high chair and a Moses basket and a cot. I don't have a stroller. And I love a lot of the things that go along with this. Like you can see here, I have an old time bottle, which is made of glass and a rubber top. You should avoid the rubber touching your silicone doll, and you should avoid silicone nibs from baby bottles touching your reborn doll because it eats away at the paint. Good girl. Good girl. Of course, if she was a real baby, she might be not quite so agreeable. But hey, real babies are cute too. So I made this bottle. I just super glued the top shut, and I got sorbitol cream and added water. So like sorbitol cream up to here, and added water, and I just change it every few months. And it looks like a pretty good fake bottle. Just be careful if you're traveling. I also love, I got a beautiful, little, it's actually rubber and the babies can chew on it if they're teething, and a little old-time rubber pacifier, or dummy as we say in Australia, and you just attach it to their clothes. This one's a little bit, there we are. She's looking all ready for life, even though she's a reborn doll. And recently I went to an op shop and found this beautiful, what would you say, Jaguar? Whatever it is. And my mother found this really old, in her cupboard, this beautiful German doll, teddy bear. So I'm pretty over the moon about that, actually. Now I just have to keep the stuffed animals away from my rescue greyhound, who is rather fond of leaving saliva all over the stuffed animals. He definitely has his own, but of course he seems to be attracted to the ones he's not supposed to have. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day and take care.